Hey there, crafters. Welcome to my craft room. I'm Nancy Novak, your Stampin' Up! Coach, and today we have something really extra special lined up. It's a YouTube collaboration with myself and 8 other fellow stampers who've joined together to celebrate Amy McGrew on reaching 1,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'll be showcasing a unique card layout featuring the gorgeous Unbounded Beauty Suite, complete with the new Petunia Pop ink, so pretty, and intricate little die cuts, a lot of stamping, a lot of fun, really pretty layout. And then when my video is over, you can check out in the description below the links for the 8 other amazing tutorials from fellow creators who joined in this fun collaboration. Now let's dive into our special card. So this is today's card. So it features that pretty designer series paper called Unbounded Love. It's a pack of 12 by 12 sheets, gorgeous with all the new in colors, very pretty. So we're going to use a piece of that. We're going to use some Petunia Pop cardstock and a little strip of Summer Splash. So we got some really pretty colors in here. We're going to do some stamping, and this is kind of a unique card. So that's kind of a recessed look to it. It's kind of different and unique. So let me show you the supplies that we need to make this. So we're going to have a card base of white that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Inside I have a piece of Petunia Pop as a layer and a stamping piece of white. In the front I have a piece of that pretty designer series paper. I have 2 strips of Petunia Pop cardstock, and then I have 2 little strips of the Summer Splash. Then I have a scrap of Summer Splash and a scrap of white. And we're using some of the supplies that are in the Unbounded Love suite. And in that suite, you have 2 stamp sets, Flowers of Beauty, which has these pretty floral images, and Unbounded Love, which has a lot of great sentiments, both for the front of the card, inside your card, for gift cards, and for lots of other different ideas, lots of other projects. And they both have die sets. So this die set is with the Unbounded Love, and it's great for sentiments, and it can be used for all of your stamp sets, not just the stamp set called Unbounded Love. And we also have the Flower of Beauty dies. So don't worry about the sizes or any of the supplies, because I have a free project sheet, and you can find it on my blog, stampinshout.blogspot.com. I also have a link in the description below this video that says project sheet, and my project sheet has all the sizes, the supplies, shopping links, colors, everything I used to create today's card. And you can print that off very easily, and again, you can find that on my blog. So do not worry about those sizes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in a scrap, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping. And I'm going to stamp on this piercing mat, and I have a little scrap sheet. And the reason I'm using this piercing mat is because we're using photopolymer stamps, and when you have a little bit of a cushion, it just sometimes helps your image come out better. I don't always use it, but I wanted to mention that if you ever have trouble when you're stamping and you don't get a good image, try the piercing mat or even a couple of magazines, something to give you a little bit of a cushion. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the big flower, and let me show that to you on the stamp set. So this is a 2-step stamp set, which means you have an outline stamp and you have a filler stamp. And I really like that type of stamp set because you don't have to worry about coloring it in. So the 2-step colors it in for you, and I'm going to show you a little tip on that too. So the first thing we're going to do is do the outline flower, and we're going to stamp 2 flowers. And again, this is Petunia Pop ink. So now I'm going to bring in the filler stamp, and we're going to stamp right in the center of that, but we're going to stamp off. If I were to do it with full strength ink, it'd be really dark and you wouldn't be able to see the difference in the lines, and it just wouldn't be pretty at all. It'd be like a big old blob. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp off, and then we're going to line this up and stamp again. And it's easy to line up. I use this little image right there, that little pointed petal, and the same, and I can see it very easily on this filler stamp, and I just line it up and stamp it. Let me do one more and I'll show it to you up close. So I'm going to stamp off, line it up, and stamp again. So there you go. It's really, really pretty. It's got a little bit of white that shows through, but it makes it look very realistic, and it gives it nice texture.
So now let's do the leaves, and we're going to stamp the leaves in Summer Splash.
Hey, I want to interrupt our card making because we may have some new viewers here, and I just want to let you know what I do weekly for my YouTube channel. Basically, every week I pick a Stampin' Up! Product, a stamp set, a die set, paper, something fun, and then I create 3 projects, and then I share them with you. I'm here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do really short videos. I fast forward through all the boring stuff, and then I show you just what you need to know so you can easily recreate that card for yourself. I also provide free project sheets over on my blog. There's always a link in the description below my video. And the project sheet will give you the sizes, the supplies, the dimensions, shopping links, everything you need to know to recreate the card yourself. So I just want to make sure you knew that in case we have any new people here. And if you are new, please subscribe and click that notification bell. We'd love to have you join us. And let's get back to today's card because it's going to be a beauty.
Yeah, so I wanted to let you guys know if there's anybody new, how I do my videos and when they are. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. So I'm going to bring the Flower of Beauty dies in, and we're going to cut these out. So I have the leaf die and the large flower die, and I'm going to cut those out really quick. And remember, I fast forward, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we die cut our flowers and our leaves. Now we're going to bring these pieces back in. And again, on my project sheet, I'm going to let you know the size of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this little framed image. We're going to cut it out of the Summer Splash, and we're going to cut it out in the white. The white is a little bit smaller because all I really need is the inside piece. I'm not concerned about this leafy image. So let me cut this out really quick. Again, I'm going to fast forward and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so when you cut it out, this is what it looks like. And you get the center piece like that. And then there's the little outline piece that we're going to use. And then for the white, like I said, I just wanted the inside piece. And we're going to fit it together just like that. And that's going to, we're going to stamp our sentiment on that piece there. So that's how that works. Since we have all these pieces die cut, I want to go ahead and stamp on this. So let me show you the card again. So the leaf is over here on the bottom, just like this. So this white piece is going to fit in there. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment on there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the card together. So I'm going to bring in Petunia Pop. And I'm going to bring in the Sentiment Friend. Again, this is from the Unbounded Love stamp set. And I'm going to bring this white piece, untangle it here, and I'm going to stamp right in the center of it. Stampin' Up! Has the best font. Their sentiments are just beautiful, and the font is always unique and beautiful also. Okay, so eventually that's going to go together like that. But we need to put the front of our card together, so let me show you how we're going to do that. Okay, so we have our card base, and we have our 2 pieces of cardstock. And remember that the sizes will be on the project sheet. And we have our strips of the Summer Splash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the edge of this. And I'm going to go ahead and attach the strip. And I'm going to do that on both pieces. And I just want just a tiny bit of a border showing. Okay, just like that, right? Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one of our new embossing folders. This is called the Eyelet embossing folder. And I'm going to put both of these pieces in here, just like that. And then I'm going to run this through and give it some really pretty texture. And I'll be right back. Look how pretty. Can you see that texture? If I hold it off to the side. Anyway, gorgeous, gorgeous in person. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to bring in our pretty piece of designer series paper, and we're going to lay it on the front of our card. We're going to glue it down. It's about 3/4 of an inch over from the folded edge. So I'm just going to glue that in place. And now these pieces we're going to pop up, but we're going to use Stampin' Up's adhesive strips. So these come in these long strips, and I only need about 5.5 inches for each piece. So I went ahead and I took my ruler and I measured 5.5 inches, and I just marked it with my pencil. And now I'm going to go ahead, and we need 4 strips, so I'm going to cut 4 pieces off. And I'm going to lay them on the back of these strips that we just embossed. So you just peel them off and lay them down, and then when you're ready, we're going to take the backing off and adhere them to the front of our card. Okay, so this one is about a 2-inch wide strip. So I went ahead and I took the little extra pieces and I laid them right in the center just to make sure it doesn't droop. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our card front, and we're going to lay this one, the short one, this is like a 1-inch strip. We're going to line it up right with the fold and stick it down to the front of our card. And then this one, just make sure that your summer splash color is right in the center, and we're going to line this one up with the right edge of our card. Okay, so far so good, right? It's really cool. It's like just recessed in there. It really looks cool in person. So let's bring back in our stamped images, and this is how it's going to be laid out. So this is going to go about right there. This is going to go right in the center, and then we're going to put our flowers on. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this little piece down. Make sure I have all the little pieces broken away from the inside. And I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because this is a really delicate piece, doesn't require a lot of glue, and I don't want it squirting out all over my card. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and there. Then I'm going to lay it on my silicone sheet to get rid of that excess glue. Then when I put it on my card, it won't squish out all over. Okay, now this piece is going to fit right in there, but I'm going to need a couple of dimensionals or strips on the back, right in the center part right here, so it is the same level as all the other parts of the card. So I'm going to bring back in some of these little strips here, and I'm just going to put a few over here on the right. So I haven't taken the backing off yet. I'm just going to test it out and see how that works. I think I'll put a little one right there, just a little piece. Okay, so that's going to fit in there like that. Since we put those little adhesive strips on the back, it'll be nice and even, but this side needs glue, so we'll put some glue there. And we'll take off the paper layer and attach it to the front of our card. Okay, now let's bring in our stamped images, and we'll kind of figure out where we're going to place them. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of the flowers. We'll put one there and one there. Now I'm going to glue the leaves. I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one there. So let me glue those down real quick. Okay, so that's the front of the card. What do you think so far? Pretty? Kind of different, right? Okay, we're going to do the inside, then we'll come back and put a few embellishments on the front. So the inside, I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday, and I'm going to stamp that in Petunia Pop. Very pretty font, right? Okay, now I'm going to glue this together and glue it to the inside of the card. Okay, these are the 24-26 in color resin dots. So I'm going to put a couple right there on our sentiment. And this card will almost be done. Okay, my camera got a little blurry there for a while, so hopefully you caught all of that. But there is our beautiful card for today. Don't forget to check out in the description area below for links to 8 more amazing tutorials from fellow creators who've joined in this YouTube collaboration, something different, something fun. Go ahead and leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on today's card. from the Unbounded Love Suite. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.